The SDA dashboard is the primary interface through which the user creates and manages connections between model elements in different software tools. The objective of this video is to familiarize the user with the main sections of the dashboard. In the previous video, we launched the SDA desktop app using the SDA batch file. The first window let the user create a new SDA cloud project or use an existing one, and then launch the SDA dashboard. The dashboard has a row of 7 tabs across the top. We will go through them sequentially, but more information about how to use them will be provided in later sections of the course. One difference between the SDA desktop app and SDA plugin dashboards is that the desktop app does not have a connection browser tab, which displays connections to the SysML model. The first tab is the repository manager. This is where the user creates and views linkages to outside tools, repositories, and folders on the local operating system and shared drives. On the left side, we have all the kinds of tools for which SDA interfaces have been installed. If we select the top level, Repositories, the right side shows a summary table of all the existing linkages, with some of the access info used to create that linkage. I am blurring out some of the specifics for my installation. If we select a specific existing linkage, we see the external model elements we have access to through that linkage. In a later video, we will look at creating and deleting linkages. The second tab is the Connection Manager, the primary location for making connections. On the left and on the right, we can select one of the external repositories that we have linkages to by left-clicking on the top bar. We see the contents that our credentials give us access to. We can right-click on elements on either the right side or the left side and see a list of context-dependent commands. The center column shows the possible types of connections that can be made between the left and right sides using drag-and-drop actions. In SDA 3.2, the desktop app is limited to making reference connections. It also cannot make connections of any type to Magic Draw or Rhapsody SysML models. These restrictions may be relaxed in future SDA releases. The Connection Search tab shows information about the connectors stored in this SDA Cloud project. Each connection is shown as one row. There are 61 connections in total for this project. Another video will show how we sort and filter the rows, and that the table can be exported as an Excel file. We can right-click any connection and trigger a variety of operations, including deleting one or more connections if they are no longer needed or valid. When we call for a comparison of two models across one or more connections, the results are shown in the Comparison Result tab, which opens automatically when the comparison operation is complete. In SDA 3.2, the Mappings tab is not relevant to the desktop app. It applies only to model transform connections made with the SysML plugin versions of SDA. As the total system model evolves, the SDA project will add, update, and delete connections. Traceability requires that we be able to identify the composition of the project at different stages in time. In the Versioning tab, we can click Version and store a version of the project at any time. When the new version appears in the table, we can right-click and say Get Members, which displays a list of inter-model connections which are individually versioned. This works for previous versions as well. If we select 2 versions, we can select Compare and generate a difference table. Finally, the Settings tab contains a wide range of user-selectable settings. Some are applicable to SDA as a whole. Others are applicable to specific tool interfaces. For example, to set what level and kind of model element content to transform between tools. Of particular interest are the SDA store settings. View the video on creating a SDA Cloud project for more information. In all cases, it is necessary to click the Apply button before the changes take effect. To complete the tour, the notification window at the bottom shows a running log of SDA actions. You can clear this window by right-clicking inside it and choosing Clear, but the same messages are also stored in a log file, syndea.md.log. These can be useful in debugging problems with building the total system model, or simply monitoring the progress of Syndea operations. Close the dashboard in the usual way, clicking the Close button at the top of the window.